What is up, everybody? My name is Robert and this is Review Clue. So today is a couple of days before my holiday, and instead of actually packing and doing all the normal things that you would before a holiday, I thought I'd go ahead and show you exactly what I take in my tech holiday backpack. So this is my backpack of choice. This one, I bought it for a number of reasons, but the main one was, it was cheap. You could buy it on Amazon, and it was cheap. Yeah, this thing was, what, £34. I'll leave a link in the description down below. It was from a really strange Chinese company, but of course they all are. Let me just grab it up here. This was the Lavodi. I've got it there. A pretty good little camera bag, actually. I originally bought it to carry around the camera that I'm shooting on right now and all of the extra lenses and stuff. So let's start off with the back section of this bag. It's got a number of compartments, but I'm going to start off with this back one here. Because whenever you're on a flight or wherever you're at the airport, you always want to have a device with you to read, to consume video, and maybe to play some games as well. But I actually chose to bring the iPad Pro 2020. Yeah, so I actually chose to bring the iPad Pro with me on this holiday, mainly because I don't plan to bring my main laptop. I have a MacBook Pro M1, but I really don't plan to take that on holiday because that is my work machine. If I take that with me, I will be more inclined to do work, but there are still some workflows that I would want that the iPad will allow me to do. For example, if I'm out with my cameras and I'm a little bit stuck for footage, I've used up my 16 gigabytes of storage on my action camera, I can really quickly copy it all across to the iPad, maybe even do some really quick edits of those photos and videos, but most importantly, it allows me to relax on the plane and watch some videos or play some games. So yep, there it is, the iPad Pro 2020 edition. Next off, let's start with this little side pocket here, and that is where I'm housing my earbuds. Obviously, everyone has earbuds and everyone has a personal preference. My personal preference is these. These are the AirPods 3s. They are actually my favourite headphones that I've ever owned. They connected really quickly to my phone, they were really easy to use, and they fit fairly well in my ear. I know for many people these don't fit particularly well because of their slightly odd design. The silicone tips are normally a better fit. But to me, these were still just as good sound quality wise, and I really didn't feel the need to go for the AirPod Pros. Let us open up this main compartment here. This is very exciting. We have got all of the extra stuff that I plan to bring with me. Where shall we start? Let's start off with camera gear. Now, whenever I go off on holiday, I like to capture as much footage and videos and photos as I can, mainly for YouTube, but also just for nice memories to remember that holiday by. Now, of course, I could bring this big old camera with me that I'm recording on right now. That is the Canon M50? I think I'll leave the name on the screen somewhere. But to be honest with you, it's big, it's bulky, there are too many lenses and extra bits to carry around with you. So instead, I've actually decided to just bring my phone. This is the iPhone 13 Pro, and to be honest with you, its camera system is just as good as something that I could get out of the Canon, but it didn't require me to carry around all the extra stuff with it. So let's say I want to get some really smooth footage with my phone. How am I going to do that? Well, that is why I carry this around with me everywhere I go. This is the DJI OM4, and basically it's a smartphone gimbal. It's really, really simple. I'm going to put the bag down and I'll show you a couple of its features. The OM4 is simply just a way to stabilize all of your footage from your phone really quickly. So what I can do is power it on, and straight away that phone is now nice and steady. Of course, I will have to be a little bit slower with my movements, but the phone's actually upside down in the gimbal, but you get the idea. We can even go all the way upside down or come all the way around, and it really is Just a brilliant way to get really smooth footage whenever you're out and about. The main reason I chose the OM4 was just how quick it was to get the phone on and off. They actually employ quite sturdy magnets, so you can simply pull the phone on and off with relative ease. There we go. And that's just a clip that sits on your phone directly. So yeah, if you're out and about and you're doing a lot of mobile photography or mobile video, I highly recommend a gimbal, and the OM4 is one of the best on the market right now. Alongside that, let's talk wallets. Technically not smart or tech, but still a really nice wallet that I bought on Amazon. I don't particularly like carrying around big, heavy wallets with me. I don't like the bulk. And I normally don't carry cash either. I only carry cards. So having a little card wallet like this is perfect. So a little flick on the button brings up all of my cards, and actually this is probably a good chance to show you the next thing that I basically take on all trips with me holidaying. And that is my Revolut card. There aren't any card numbers on the front of it, you are fine. There you go, the Revolut card. This one is the metal edition, and it gives you a ton of different added extras, including some insurance and making sure that you are safe while you are travelling. So if you are interested in a Revolut card, I will leave a link in the description. You can go and grab your own and maybe get a little bit of money off as well. But I always carry around a really simple card wallet with me everywhere I go. Gotta love them. Let's stick with camera gear because there's quite a lot of it. Next up, let's talk drones. This is my drone of choice. It is the DJI Mini 2. Now, of course, before you go ahead and just pack your drone in your bag when you go out to a different country, do make sure that you understand the drone laws in whatever country you are going to. I am going to Turkey, and I know that the Turkish laws are pretty lenient on drones and drone usage. I can fly anything under 500 grams without having any kind of license or extra stuff. So this thing is perfect. This is only 249 grams, and its battery life is just superb. I get about 25 minutes of flight time from each battery, and I've got 3 of them in this bag. I'll show you those in a minute. And it really does allow me to capture completely different styles of photo and video that I never would have thought of before. Aerial photography and aerial videography is something that I've gotten into a lot more recently, but I absolutely love it because it just allows me to capture the world from a slightly different angle. So there we are, the DJI Mini 2. Absolutely love this thing, and I've got all the accessories in this bag as well. That obviously does include the controller, the batteries and the chargers, and I'm not going to talk too much about chargers because we all know we've got to take them. They're not particularly interesting. I've also got all of the replacement pieces like replacement propellers and everything else that you're going to need to fly safely and continue flying if the worst were to happen and you were to hit something. Carrying on with the drone theme, to get the best kind of footage, I always recommend buying something like this, if I can get them open. These are simply ND filters. And what they allow is for a much smoother experience when shooting video. So if you were to put on a higher ND filter, you're basically going to get a slightly more motion blurred footage. It's just a nice little effect, and I carry these everywhere with me. I promise this is the last camera related product. There are quite a lot of them, but this one is the Apeman action camera. I love a little bit of action camera footage because it just looks cool. It's always got this unique aesthetic that works really well. Obviously that fisheye look. And I'm not going to pay GoPro prices because, to be honest with you, I don't use these things enough to warrant a GoPro price. Apeman, however, had me covered. It comes in this little waterproof case, and I'm going to have a couple of different attachments so I can attach it to my arm, my body, or wherever else I need to. It's got a pretty good screen on the back, some pretty good footage comes out of this thing as well. I have reviewed it in the past, and I'll leave a link to that up there or in the description down below. But there we go, that is the Apeman, and I've also got a spare battery in a little bag here as well because battery life on this thing is not particularly great. I told you that that was the final piece of the camera tech. Well, I was kinda lying. We also are carrying sunglasses with us. Obviously, it's a sunny country. I'm going off to Turkey, and I'm hoping it will be nice and sunny the whole time, so I'm gonna need some sunglasses. But knowing me, I don't do things in half measures. So these are my sunglasses of choice. These are the Snapchat Spectacles. These are the Snapchat Spectacles 3 to be precise. I'm actually going to be reviewing these while I'm out on holiday, but basically they are some questionably designed sunglasses that have cameras on each side to allow for 3D and depth perception when you are recording video and photos, and you can add AR effects much like you can with any other Snapchat feature. They really probably don't suit me particularly well, but I like that I can get some really unique styles of footage that I probably couldn't do before from an action camera or a drone. It's all about getting as many different styles of shot that I can, so I can create something that is aesthetically interesting. So there we go. That is the Snapchat Spectacles, and they are my sunglasses of choice for this holiday. Obviously, flights are pretty boring, so you need something to do on them, and delays are inevitable. So, the way I kill time is with video games. And to be honest with you, I've always wondered what system to bring around with me. Do I bring the Switch and play some of the newer games? But I've only really got 2 or 3 that I would probably want to play. That's where this guy comes in. This is the Powkiddy X18S. Basically, it's an Android-based handheld that allows you to play a ton of different retro games really quickly. This thing holds about 5,000 different games, ranging from everything from PlayStation all the way down to GameCube and maybe even some of the Game Boy series. I absolutely love this thing because it is so versatile and so easy to use. I have so many games on here that I will never not find something that I want to play. And that retro feel is just something that I quite enjoy. So if you're looking for a retro handheld, this is a little bit of a bigger one, but its clamshell design does mean you get a pretty nice selection of buttons along the bottom to play with as well. Something that you probably don't really think about when you're out and about is how you're going to be transferring footage from all of this camera gear to your smart devices. Now, many of these devices have Wi-Fi built in, so you can transfer that way. But to be honest with you, if you're carrying something like the iPad Pro or even a MacBook Pro, I highly recommend something like this. This is just a little USB-C hub, and it connects up to my Mac or my iPad in this case, because that's the one I'm taking with me. And it allows me to use USB devices, it allows me to use SD cards and everything else. So it allows me to edit my footage and get my footage onto the devices a lot quicker and easier. So there we have it, guys. That is all of the tech that I'm carrying with me whenever I go on holiday. It's quite a lot of stuff, and you'll probably notice that it is mostly camera gear and stuff to create footage. What do you think of all this stuff? Do you think that I'm along the right lines, or do you think I've missed something here that you feel is an essential in a tech travel backpack? Let me know in the comment section down below, and while you're down there as well, get subscribed, leave a comment, do all of that good stuff, share with your friends, your family, your dog, your cat, I don't really care, just make sure that people know that I am here. Anyway guys, my name's been Robert, this has been Review Clue, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.